take us back to that moment, perhaps, when you were a boy and you knew what it was that you wanted to do.
Well, there's a difference between knowing and wanting. And I remember, I think I was in fourth grade. They asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, people are putting doctors, you know, policemen, this, that, and the other thing. And I wrote right on there, Major League Baseball player. Whether I believe that, no, that faded probably in the fifth or sixth grade. But the realization that I had a chance really didn't come till I think my sophomore year of college, which is pretty late. But I was still bouncing around, not knowing really what type of player I was going to be. I was actually recruited to pitch out of high school, and gave that up into my sophomore year. Played third base my sophomore year, and then switched over to first, and then got drafted. But the Phillies were always kind of part of things in my life, even back then, because before the season in college, we used to play exhibition games against different teams, and one of the teams was the Philadelphia Rookies. Okay. So all the Phillies, whether major league or minor leagues, they would put a team together and they'd play. Mm-hmm. So I remember getting a hit off Warren Brewster, who had already been in the big leagues, and I'm a college player. Yeah. And I hit a triple off him, and I'm standing on third base, and I'm thinking, hey, I should be in the big leagues if I got a hit off that guy. So, and Warren's actually a friend of mine now, and every time I see him, I thank him.
Yeah, that's great. What a great story. But look, when you were traded to the Phillies as part of that, 5-for-1 deal, I'm wondering, did you immediately feel like you were kind of carrying the weight of that entire trade on your shoulders? I'm sure you've been asked this before. And at what point in your career did you realize that, fans weren't just necessarily evaluating your field performance, but what you actually symbolized because of that trade?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got traded, it didn't even hit me that that really, it was more of just a realization of an opportunity, and wasn't worried about, didn't feel the pressure of the trade, the amount of guys, all that kind of stuff. The pressure really didn't hit me until that spring. I mean, it was tough enough walking into a clubhouse of 5 Hall of Famers, Right. But what I was pretty confident, very very cocky back then. You have to be a young player coming up, and
you have to have a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, you got to be confident, and I had all that, and but I'd never been injured in my career. 3 years of pro ball, a year and a half in the big leagues already. Had a really good rookie year, never been hurt. And the second game I played in spring training, I blew out a quadricep muscle, and I was out the whole spring, and first part of the season. So
what did that do to you from a mental standpoint? Can you get into that at all?
Well, that's what made the pressure of the trade and everything really come to light and start to weigh heavy on me. Was okay, now not only do I have to prove myself in this trade, I got to do it right now. I mean, I've already missed a part of the season, the expectations. And I don't know, it just kind of gave me too much time to think about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that whole year was kind of like getting off on the wrong foot and never getting right again. Yeah. So it was. I was the first one to admit it. 1983 was a very difficult year for me, both physically and mentally.
You are, though, a part of Philadelphia Phillies baseball history, like it or not. And it's always an honor to talk to folks in that capacity. And I look at baseball as a sport, of course, and many of us have, that have changed so much over the decades. And I'm wondering, do you think that fans sometimes miss the full story of a player by focusing only on like batting averages, RBIs, stolen bases, home runs, etc.? And if so, what needs to be a greater part of the baseball conversation when us fans are really focusing on the players here?
Well, I mean that's like a 15-part question.
It really is. Sorry,
but no, I mean there's no definition of a fan. Fans are different every part of the country, and these fans are very knowledgeable. Yes. I mean, do you like getting booed? Do you like getting put out there? It's tough sometimes, but I think the fans need to realize that. A lot of times we're booing ourselves way before they even get to us.
That's an interesting concept for sure.
So, I mean, I don't think the fans were tougher on me than I was on myself. Mm-hmm. And, that may be a good thing, maybe a bad thing. I don't know. But it was never easy. It was always in the back, of your mind. But in some ways it was a good thing, because once you got hot and once you started playing well, you didn't give that up too easy. You wanted to really get after it, and not allow that situation to present itself again.
Right.
So in some ways it carried me, and I accomplished some things on the field that I probably would have never accomplished if it wasn't for the tough parent.
Yeah. That's a great way to call them, the tough parent, for sure.